class of 2000. 15 years ago, I sat where you are sitting now, and I thought exactly what you are now thinking. What's going to happen to me? Will I find my place in this world? Am I really graduating a virgin? Well, still have 24 hours. Roommate's mom, very hot. I swear she was checking me out. There's a reason that nutty talk show hosts don't usually do formal speeches. In the year 2000, Harvard alumni Conan O'Brien was asked to address the graduating class of Harvard on their class day. O'Brien thoroughly entertains his audience with the kind of quirky humor that has become a trademark of his work. But he also takes a look back on his not-so-glorious post-Ivy League days in an effort to show that success does not always come so easily. Conan O'Brien's Harvard Commencement. Now, 1985 seems like a long time ago from now. When I had my class day, you students would have all been 7 years old. 7 years old, do you realize what that means? Back then, I could have beaten any of you in a fight. And I mean really badly, like no contest at all. If anyone here has a time machine seriously, I will kick your 7-year-old butt right now. Of course, I believe there is some common ground between us. I remember well the great uncertainty of this day, the anxiety. Many of you are justifiably nervous about leaving the safe, comfortable world of Harvard Yard and hurling yourself headlong into the cold, harsh world of Harvard grad school. You see, kids, you're in for a lifetime of you went to Harvard, accidentally give the wrong amount of change in a transaction, and it's you went to Harvard, ask at a hardware store how jumper cables work, and here, you went to Harvard, forget just once that your underwear goes on the inside of your pants. Mr. O'Brien, you went to Harvard? So you know what's really in store for you after Harvard. I have to tell you what happened to me after my graduation. I'm going to tell it simply, and I'm going to tell it honestly, because, first of all, I think my perspective may give many of you hope. And secondly, it's such a cool, amazing rush to be in front of 6,000 people and just talk about yourself. You see, kids, after graduating in May, I moved to Los Angeles. I got a 3-week contract with a small cable show. I got a $380 a month apartment, a terrible dump. And I bought a 1977 Isuzu Opal, a car Isuzu only manufactured for a year because they found out it's technically not a car. Quick tip, graduates, no 4-cylinder used vehicle should have a racing stripe. So I worked on that show for about a year, feeling pretty good about myself when one day they said that they were letting me go. I was fired. I hadn't saved up any money, so I tried to get another job in television as best as I could, but just couldn't find one. So with nowhere else to turn, true story, I went to a temp agency and filled out a questionnaire. I had made damn sure that they knew that I had been to Harvard, that I had written a thesis, and that I expected the very best treatment. And so the next day, I was sent to the Santa Monica branch of McDonald's. I tried a lot of things during this period. Acting in corporate infomercials, serving drinks at a non-equity theater. I even took up a job entertaining at a 7-year-old's birthday party. So I was 28 and once again, no job. But then, an insane, inexplicable opportunity came my way. A chance to audition for host of the new late night show. I took the opportunity very seriously, but at the time, I have to be honest, I had the relaxed confidence of someone who knew that he had no real shot. So I couldn't fear losing a great job that I could never hope to have. And I think that that attitude is what made the difference. I will never forget that morning when my phone rang. It was for me. My car was blocking a fire lane. But a week later, I got another call, and I got the job. Just a few days after my show premiered, this was what the most respected and widely read television critic, Tom Shales, wrote in the Washington Post. O'Brien is a living collage of annoying, nervous habits. He giggles and jiggles and fiddles about with his cuffs. He has dark, beady little eyes, like a rabbit. He is one of the whitest white men ever. O'Brien is a switch on the guest who won't leave. He is the host who should never have come. Let the Late Show with Conan O'Brien become the Late Show. And may that host return to whence he came. There's more, but after that, it gets kind of mean. Needless to say, I took a lot of criticism. Now, some of it was deserved, but some of it was excessive. And to be honest with you, it hurt like you would not believe. But I'm telling you all this for a reason. I've dwelled on my failures here today because, as graduates of Harvard, your biggest liability is your need to succeed. Your need to always find yourself on the sweet side of the bell curve. Well, when I left the cocoon of Harvard, I proceeded to fall flat on my face time and time again. Each fall was bruising and tumultuous, and yet every failure was free. And today I'm as nostalgic for the bad as I am for the good. So that's what I wish for all of you. The bad, as well as the good. Fall down, make a mess, break something occasionally. Know that your mistakes are your own unique way of getting where you need to be. And just remember that the story is never over. If you'll indulge me for just a moment, I'd like to read a little something from just this year. Somehow, Conan O'Brien has transformed himself into the brightest star in the late-night firmament. His comedy is the gold standard, and Conan himself is not only the quickest and most inventive wit of his generation, but quite possibly the greatest host ever. Ladies and gentlemen, class of 2000, I wrote that this morning. As proof that when all else fails, you still have delusion. I will go now to make bigger mistakes and embarrass this fine institution even more. But before I go, let me leave you with this one last thought. If you can laugh at yourself loud and hard every time you fall, people will think you're drunk.